You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sport. You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge.
What's up, everybody? Episode 312. We in the house again. Oh, what's going on this week? Kind of a slow week. It usually happens after all the conference championships and all everything gone. The week that the Super Bowl isn't played, the Super Bowl bye week. Anyway, well, we're going to have a conference championship review and a little mini Super Bowl preview. Not the big one next week, but the small one this week. Is the NBA 65 game rule for seasons awards fair or foul? We'll get into that. Seattle and young McDonald had a team. E-I-E-I-O. Detroit and Houston's OCs stay put. Dan Quinn heads to the nation's capital. The best rookie season for an NFL QB. NBA All-Star reserves revealed, who got in, who didn't, that and much more. Might even have an appearance from one of our local coaches. Anyway, stay tuned, get ready. Episode 312 is about to begin.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show. All of us this week are coming to you live from the ATL Show. Giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what, gentlemen? Real sports knowledge. So hang out with your boys, Red, Rev, Coach, and Minus Armani for episode 312 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And as is our sports custom, we're going to turn our numbers attention to our numerologist, Coach Patrick Thomas, to give us something or someone dealing with those three numbers. 3, 1, 2. What you got for us, Coach?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. We are live from ATL on a beautiful Saturday morning. This one is quite easy. I don't have to go too far for this one. This guy used to play in the NFL. He was a 3-time most valuable player, and he is the most famous number 12 in the NFL. You may not like him, but he has done what he needs to do to be considered one of the all-time greats. Excuse me. Number 12, 3-time all MVP, Tom Brady. Too easy for this one. Tom Brady.
Miss Brady. Red, you look like you were expecting something different.
No, I'm disappointed because I wasn't expecting something different. I thought he was going to fool me and go with somebody else.
Oh, okay. So he kept you with the norm.
Yeah, I kind of figured Tom Brady with the number 12, 3 MVPs, or he could just use the 3 rings doing spot. He could have used any reference of the 3 rings to get up in there. So, but that was a good one. You got the GOAT up in there, Tom Brady. Hope that's the last time we can give him a shout out.
All right, I don't know.
He been feeling himself this week. What the world, Coach? You got a doppelganger? Man, Coach, man, we got 2 coaches, man.
We're gonna let Coach figure out which screen he gonna lay out.
All right, Coach, what the world
was that? When you got your screen game going, man, come back here. Cause man, you messing us up, Reverend. I don't know what's going on here. All right, man. Nevertheless, Coach will be right back. Everybody knows he's in the house. We want to welcome Reverend Knight Nation in the house. Let's see who's chiming in from Reverend Knight Nation. Good morning to you, Miss Sylvia Harris. Good morning to you, Brother Jeremy. He says he don't like the coach hire for the Falcons. Boy, he coming right in talking about Falcons talk. We'll get to that at some point. Danae, good morning.
That come from? What's up, Danae?
G.
What up, G? In the house.
Mr. Jerome Case is going to make a case for something during the show.
Yeah.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, we already know you ready to come with your controversy, Jerome.
The VP is in the building, slamming down the gavel, ready for another 5 session of the Red and Red Sports Show.
Slam that gavel down. Woo! Like Harry Anderson in Night Court with that gavel.
Here he is. Jerome was happy about the GOAT. The VP says good morning to Mother Wildcat Harris. Hey, Red.
Miss B in the house. What's up, Miss B? Love your show, man. Red, that's another one you need to subscribe to on YouTube. She's a fellow sports fan like us, fellow content creator, Miss B, diehard Falcons fan. Check her out, Red.
All right, man. You said it. I'm going to do it. All right. G said, Coach got a clone up there.
Yeah, you ain't lying, man. I'm looking for another Red now. Making sure we ain't got another Red in here.
Mr. K said, Coach got two new internet providers.
Neither of them work.
The VP said they found a way to clone Coach Patrick O'Neal Thomas. We don't need two of you, Coach. That's what he said.
Oh boy.
Joe Black representing from Jacksonville, Florida. The VP said, Reverend Night Nation, rise up. Let's represent. Do what we do. Post your comments and keep it PG. Keep it clean, please. We love to post your posts as long as they're clean.
No further than PG-13 now. Can't do the rated R.
He don't like the high. Who we want, Don Shula. Boy, they talking about Falcons already off the rip.
Well, no. He talking about Jeremy.
Yeah, I know he responded to him. Yeah. Pastor
What's up,
Melvin
Abram?
Watkins from Memphis, Tennessee is chiming in. What's up, Pastor Watkins?
Oh, Pastor Watkins in the house. Memphis, Tennessee.
Look at the VP getting that coach. Coach split up his Metro PCS of cricket. Lord,
man, I forgot is Metro PCS still around?
I haven't seen a Metro PCS phone or building in quite some time. Pastor Watkins from the first 48. I like that. All right.
Okay.
All right, man, Red. Well, we know Amani is handling business, and we want to pray for him. We know that he's in the military, and it's a tough time right about now here in America as America's dealing with some trouble going on in the Middle East, and Amani needed to be available to do what he's been commissioned to do as a serviceman of the United States of America. So we pray for him, and we look forward to him coming back whenever he gets the chance to come back. So salute to Armani. Coach was trying to close down his only sports fans page.
Man, oh Lord.
Yeah, VP.
That is a sight I don't want to see.
All right, Coach, are you stable, man?
Stable, able. I had to try. I was trying something. That's all. I was trying something.
Okay, you sound like you ready, man. All right.
Let's just hope that hamster got good condition for at least 2 hours.
I told you about talking about Roscoe. Leave him alone. He got fed. He had him from grits and eggs this morning.
Hey, Reb, I'm Roscoe ready, Reb.
Y'all gonna leave Roscoe alone.
Thank y'all so much for showing love to Lieutenant Sonar, a.k.a. Amani. We truly appreciate that, and I'm sure whenever he gets a chance to watch the show, he'll appreciate the love. The VP said Coach has had to switch his pet hamster for his rebel possum.
Don't you ever mess with Roscoe, Vincent. You better worry about them there Gamecocks.
All right,
or those Niners.
Oh Lord, We
all right, man.
About the Niners right now.
Let's jump into it. We got some dope note and cope action going on today. Coach, while you got a stable connection, we're gonna go right to you, sir. What you doping on? What you doping on?
My dope moment goes to one Juju Watkins from USC, who went off on one of the best teams in the country, Stanford. She scored 51 points last night, and she seems to be on her way to being the Pac-12 Player of the Year. It's going to be hard to stop that young lady. She makes the game look too easy, so we're going with Juju Watkins for the dope moment.
Man, that's something. Juju 51 points. I gotta start watching this girl. Right? Well, I'm gonna watch it when the tournament starts. I can't wait, Juju and Angel and Caitlin Clark. That's 3 more. Hey, Real, that's 3 more girls than 3 guys we want to see in the men tournament.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Red, what are you doping on, man?
Okay, I guess I'll follow coaches and keep it basketball related. I can't believe I'm doping on this guy. I am doping on one Jalen Brunson for the New York Knicks. I hate the Knicks. Why am I talking about the Knicks? I got to play them tonight. But anyway, what this guy is doing, how he has rejuvenated this city and this team, the fact that they making tonight's game with my Lakers a big, huge game. Jalen Brunson. I think he was a second round pick. He wasn't even a first round pick. I mean, completely disrespected on draft night. really completely disrespected by the Mavericks because they didn't even think you were worthy of playing with Luka Doncic. They just sent you on the way. Okay, go ahead, free agency buy, and look what he's doing for the Knicks. I wish the Mavs still had Jalen Brunson right now, but Jalen Brunson, dope for taking all of the challenges you faced it and turn them into a positive. And look what you're doing for the Knicks. You have become a star, maybe even a superstar player in the Knicks' eyes, Jalen Brunson, for the way you handled your career and made it a positive. Dope, buddy. Dope.
Good deal. Good deal. I got a dope on this T-shirt right quick. And the reason why I'm doping on this T-shirt, it's a sports moment. I was blessed to be able to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the 2004 Georgia 4-8 state basketball championship that came to my alma mater, Mays High School, where I happened to be one of the coaches on the team. Had a phenomenal night celebrating that feat, catching up with Coach Floyd Mack, who was the architect of the team, and also quite a few players who came back on that team and from other teams, and seeing so many people, alumni from that great high school known as Mays High School, celebrating with us on last night. And hopefully we may have a guest who will come and tell us more about what took place last night. So that's what I'm doping on. The 20th anniversary of the 4-8 state championship in Georgia high school basketball. The champions were the Mays High Raiders, where I had the privilege to be one of the coaches.
Woo! Give me some celebration! I need the celebration! Woo! Coach, get off the screen with the Mays High. Mays High. Wait. Red, where you go?
I'm here. I was just making sure Coach was paying attention because there might have been some haterade in the building, you know.
I see. There you go. I didn't say nothing about any haterade, nothing at all.
I just made sure you were paying attention to my dope moment, because I know it might be a sore spot for you, Coach. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all beat Coach. Y'all beat Coach, right?
Well, no, Coach just never experienced holding the cup. That's all. He coached, but he never experienced never experienced getting fitted for a ring. I had the privilege of being fitted for a ring 3 times.
Oh my God, Coach! I'm embarrassed for you, Coach.
We made it to the Elite 8 and Sweet 16. We never did get to the big one.
Hey, Red, we did what Coach did in our off years. We did that.
That's what I'm saying. Coaches sound like Falcon fans telling us you got there. We talking about the folks that won it. You didn't win it, Coach. I'm just messing with you. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Lord, all right, Red, jump in there with your note moment.
Okay, what am I noping on? It's such happy moments. I don't know why we want to talk about something negative, but we have to. My negative moment of the week goes to, I was going to get on Iman Shumpert, but that's a little too personal. I don't want to talk about nobody's divorce. I'm going to go with Kadarius Toney running his mouth on Instagram. It's probably a personal rev. Anyway, when your coach come out and says that you hurt, we don't need you, Mr. 50 drop balls, almost cost your team the season, running his doggone mouth, saying something against what your coach said. You don't go against the great Andy Reid, Mr. Kadarius Thomas, Mr. I need stickum gloves on my hands. I drop every clutch ball that come my way. Who in the world you think you are trying to expose somebody? When the coach say you was hurt, you better say you was hurt. We don't want to hear about, I could have played. No, you couldn't play because nobody want to see your sorry hands on the field. You ain't this up for the Chiefs, partner, okay? So when the Andy Reid say you hurt, only thing you need to say is, yes, sir. Thank you.
I thought you were going to say, well, Andy Reid says you hurt. You just respond, how hurt am I, coach?
There you go. Hey, that's better, Red. There you go. How hurt am I, coach? If my elbow hurt, if my leg hurt, but whenever something's hurt, and you better figure out what's hurt because you ain't playing next Sunday, buddy. You are not going to mess this up for the Chiefs. You'll get a ring, but you're not playing.
All right, man. I thought Red was dope on what I'm about to nope on. I'm about to nope on the Boston Celtics. Come on, Boston. You can't be one of the top teams in the league and then lose at home against the LeBron James-less, Antonio Davis-less Lakers on national television. Come on, man. That is unacceptable. I'm sure the Boston fans were going crazy because I'm sure they were upset when they didn't see LeBron and Antonio dress out, because I'm sure those ticket prices were based on them playing, and they did not play. But then to come back and see your team lose when their top two guys were not on the floor, I'm sure that was very disappointing and depressing to Boston Celtics fans. So my note moment has to go to the Boston Celtics for not showing up and showing out when the Lakers were shorthanded.
Hey, everybody.
Lord have mercy. All right, Red, you got that out? The system?
Yeah. I'm trying to get it out for y'all, knock me off the screen.
All right, Coach, go ahead on. Tell us what you're noping on, sir.
My note moment goes to New Mexico State forward Robert Carpenter, who decided he was getting a little too physical for him down there. So he retaliated by punching a Liberty player, Shiloh Robinson, in the face during the game. Instead of getting physical legally with him, he decided to sneak punch him while he was running by him. And now he's been suspended indefinitely from all activity. It was a classless move. I mean, he didn't hit him straight up. He ran behind him from behind him and hit him in the face. So now you have been suspended, and you are actually playing pretty decent. So that's my note. That's my note. That's my note moment. That's my note moment.
Oh man, I can't wait till we get to the comments. There was just
oh man, am I involved in any of them? I hope not.
You'll see, as Coach would say, stay tuned.
Oh man, I don't care if y'all talking about me blowing my nose. Shut up, bitch. Come on, I can have all the smoke today. I'm taking all money, smoke. I'm ready for all. I got a good night's sleep. So come on, I'm ready for you today.
All right, I'm coping with the fact that football season is basically over after next week, and now I'm going to have to try to do my best to be able to stomach college men's basketball as March Madness is coming right around the corner. As Red alluded to earlier in the season, alluded earlier in the show, that the women's college game has star power. And I'm still trying to find at least one star. Matter of fact, a half a star in men's college basketball. So as they say in the church, you all pray my strength in the college basketball arena, especially when it comes to men, because it's hard for me to stomach that product that is posted as Division I basketball these days. All right, Coach, what are you coping on, man?
I'm coping with Northwestern coach Chris Collins, who unfortunately got kicked out the game and ejected after trying to beat a team who was already ranked number 2 in the country. But on top of that, you had to beat them with Purdue shooting 46 free throws and Northwestern shooting 8. How can you try to win a game like that? You had to cope with the referees, the fans, the other team, the concession stand, probably everything, try to win that game. And yet they actually took it to overtime. So I'm coping with Chris Collins, who probably going to get a big fine and probably is going to be reprimanded by the Big Ten, but he had a legit. So I'm coping with Northwestern basketball team.
All righty. And Red, conclude this segment before we get to Revenite Nation's Dope, Nope, and Cope.
Okay. Well, Red, since you brought up the Boston Celtics, which I had for one of my coats, I'm going to go to something a little more funny because you represented that enough. We got in their butts last week. Thursday. Everybody saw it, got in their butt. Anyway, hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about that a little bit more later. My coat moment this week goes to two coat moments, but it's the same person. One, Doris Burke. Oh yeah, Doris, I'm coming for you, baby. Don't think I didn't hear you this week. Sounded all sad and depressed. Well, we have to sorry everybody, but Doris Burke has to cope that she has to call the NBA games now all by herself without her boo. Ooh, Doc Rivers. Oh, he's gone back to coaching. Oh, making your little comments. Well, G, I would prefer a 3-man booth than a 2-man booth. Oh, it feels a little lonely down here, but we'll make it through. Yeah, Doris, we know you making those comments because you miss Doc, okay? So sorry, but the rest of us have to cope with just you and that other guy on there, because you think we want to listen to just you and that other guy calling the biggest games of the week? No, we needed Doc on there to balance your butt out. So the rest of us have to cope with just Doris and whoever the other guy is. I don't know his name, don't matter. The rest of us have to cope with just Doris calling the NBA games. ESPN, please think about bringing Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy back. Don't do us like that. Don't force Doris on us, please. It's just like when the honeymooners left under guys, or when James left Florida on Good Times, or when Desi left Lucy on I Love Lucy. We don't want a one-woman boo. We want either a couple or not at all, okay? Please don't force us on there. We can't deal with Doris Burke being the #1 NBA caller. All right, I'm done.
Now, point of correction. Don't you dare accuse James Evans of leaving Florida. He died.
Yeah, and Rev, I don't think he was happy. I don't think he was sad when he died.
Right. All right, Reverend Night Nation, we're coming your way, seeing what comments you got. There's some good comments out there in the atmosphere, so we look forward to seeing them right now. The VP said, my Gamecocks are rolling, both men and women's team. Let's talk about them, Coach. Mama Harris, Wildcat Kitties caught them beat downs, and we also took down #5 ranked Tennessee. So clearly the VP forgot to say he's doping on his Gamecocks, both men and women. G said, very impressed with Juju's freshman performance. Her numbers are rivaling Caitlin Clark freshman year. So that's impressive. Sister Harris is doping on the Lakers role players who came together to run the Falcons into a rare home loss. I agree with Red's dope on Jalen Brunson. The VP says, since Coach poked my game chickens, my men's basketball team took down #5 ranked Tennessee and Knoxville on Tuesday night, improving their record to 18-3. Coached by brother Lamont Paris in his second year. Let's go. Good morning to you, Jerry. Glad to have you. He's doping on Terrence Mathis becoming the head football coach at Morehouse, former wide receiver of the Atlanta Falcons, going to my alma mater. Hopefully they will give him resources to work with, and hopefully, as I stated on Facebook, that he could forge a partnership with the Atlanta Falcons and get some dollars to come to West Drive.
Yeah, all they had to do is go next door to Spelman. They got plenty of money.
But the problem is Spelman doesn't pay any money to sports.
I know.
Nothing but
that. Ladies ain't dealing with those sports.
They have, since I've graduated, they have since shut down their basketball team. They put no money in athletics. My mother says, Rev, you were also a star on the Mays team. Then she wants to take a shot at me. 30 years ago, boy, you're getting old. Well, if I'm getting old, mother, you must be getting older. Just keep that in mind.
Oh,
Lord. I'm not going to comment.
Family moment. Yeah, no comment on that one.
The VP, congrats on that anniversary, Rev. We enjoy seeing your posts on that anniversary team. Double dope on your 4-state A champs. Mays High Raiders. Appreciate you, man. And looking forward to doing it again next year because we went back to back. What's up? What's up, Ron Thomas? Glad to have you.
What up, Ron?
Is doping on the NBA putting pressure on millionaire players who want to take days off. Noping on the NFL, shoving Red's new crush, Taylor Swift, down our visual throats for every catch, first down, and TD the Chiefs make. Copeland on Falcons. Head coach hire, my opinion, is 50-50. All right. The Vincent Woodruff VP says, Noping on Purdy responding to Cam Newton's comments about him being the 10th best player on the team. Purdy, what do you gain from responding? Cam Newton is a former MVP, game-changing QB. Do your job next Sunday so that you can silence the critics. I'm one of them. Go Niners. Sister Harris is Noping on the UK Wildcats falling out of the top 25. Calipari's time should be up. Tubby Smith would have never been given the kind of contract extension. That's very true. Brother Jerry is Noping on Coach Dan Campbell going for it on 4th and 4 instead of kicking the field goal late. Man, you still tripping about that. That happened like 2 weeks ago right now.
Almost.
Yeah, Jerry's still feeling the pain from that. All right, this is what we were laughing at, Red. Red Nasaline Rose.
Nasaline.
Okay, that was a good one.
Joe Black doping on Terrence Mathis being hired at Morehouse. He's noping. He meant to say nope. Trey Young being snubbed for the All-Star game. The VP coping on Rev, your take on men's college basketball is correct. We can't name a star. Hard to market that. But folks will continue to tune in. Women's basketball continues to shine. Sure enough about that.
I can name several stars. What are you talking about?
Let's see. Sister Harris said, Red, yes, bring back Mark Jackson. Mama, there goes that man. Doc will be missed. Excellent color commentator. Jerry talking about Redan high school product. Terrence Mathis. We used to play Redan when I was in high school. Let's see. Eric Baldwin is chopping it up, laughing at some things that have been said. What's up, Reverend Baldwin? Dr. Baldwin, glad to have you. Let's see. Sister Harris said I was not a teenager. Get no for me is fantastic. God bless you. Yeah, it was. I know. I'm just joking with you, man. I was joking with you. It just seems like it was such a long time ago. It seemed like we had another show before then, but you're right, Jerry. That's the bad thing about the show when we have to talk about things 6 days later after the show. But you're totally correct. I was just messing with you, Jerry. Mama Harris, we can hold Rev for you while you check him for his smart comment. G said, my note is the Washington Commanders hiring Dan Quinn as their head coach. Definitely, if you ask me, wow. It's amazing how a year makes a difference. Like Dan Quinn was the flavor of the offseason last year to be the head coach, and with Dallas's demise in the first round of the playoffs, he's like a curse now. So it's amazing how things could change real quickly. Joe Black is coping on Todd Monken having Lamar throw 40 times. All right, Reverend Night Nation. And glad that you got the LOL. I appreciate you, Jerry. All right, man. Let's go right into it.
We're writing some good comments.
Good comments, man. I love the fact that we have informed fans who watch our show, who bring it each week. So let's go first game here. Chiefs versus Ravens. What are your thoughts overall about the game? Any surprises that came from the game? Coach, we gotta ride you while your connection is going real well. So we're gonna start with you first.
Good, right?
All right, but once you do 3 straight shows being good, then I'll start believing. But anyway, your thoughts, man. Give us your thoughts about the Chiefs versus Ravens in the AFC Championship game.
One, you're looking at 2 different sides of the spectrum. One game, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid came up with a game plan on how to disrupt that Ravens defense and just shake them up. He had quick pass, and I don't understand how they did not know that Travis Kelce wasn't going to be the main target. I do not understand that. How do you not try something different with him, and he's out there at the beginning of the game and catching passes all over you? And then on the other side, Lamar, Todd Monken, Jim Harbaugh, all y'all, what were y'all thinking with that game plan you had? And Lamar, you should have tried to override some of that, because there were several times when you should have been running out of that pocket like they were chasing you for lunch money, but you stayed back there. And your thing is, mentality-wise, I got to prove to everybody that I'm a passer. You don't have to prove nothing. You ought to consider the MVP because of your overall game. Throwing 40 times is not part of your overall game. You were almost leading the team in rushing at one point, but you decided, I'm not going to run this time. And credit the Kansas City defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo. He came up with a plan to stop you, and he did. He spied you. He kept you in that pocket, and it was ridiculous watching you run around. When you catch a pass that was thrown, and you catch the pass, something's wrong. So overall, Baltimore had a bad game plan going into that game, which is the reason they lost. Defense, they held the Chiefs to 17 points. Now, it's hard to hold that offense to 17 points, but what did you do on your ends offensively? So Chiefs did what they had to do. They scored 17, and that shouldn't be enough to beat the Ravens, who were rolling. And one last thing, Gus Edwards, who was on one of my fantasy teams, you ran him 3 times, I think. He was averaging 6 yards a carry. You mean tell me you didn't think to go back to him anytime during the game? So Chiefs won. Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. Ravens, everybody's talking about your colossal failure, and they trying to put it all on Lamar Jackson, but it wasn't just Lamar. It was a whole team effort.
So hold up, Coach. And I got to get Red on this. So, Red, did you hear what Coach said? One thing he said, he hated on Lamar catching his own pass. And I looked all over what is now X, the former Twitter, and some people are saying that's one of the greatest plays they ever seen.
I mean, but it's not the fact that I hated he caught it. It's the fact that they allowed that defense to penetrate like that, where he got to catch his own ball. You know, the play was funny. It was good. He would have scored a touchdown if I think it's Snead or somebody hadn't clipped him. But I didn't even get on Zay Flowers because I think that's redundant. So, you know,
Vince
pretty
much said it.
Well, the VP wanted you to know this, Coach. If Lamar didn't catch that pass, it could have been intercepted. Coach is a hater.
Right.
Ray, wait, Vince, you think I'm supposed to like Baltimore or something?
So that's what his coach. All right, Coach is kind of bringing in some of his Steelers hate. I got it. All right. Your turn, Red. What you got, man? Your thoughts?
Okay. If anything left, Coach, got all of my bullets and see if I can find one left in the chamber. No, but you could tell this game was kind of gonna go a certain way when even at the beginning of the game you saw Kelce and Mahomes in the end zone punking the little kicker, Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker thought he was tough. Nah, Mahomes Tucker said, get this stuff out the way, man. We trying to practice. We champs over here. We trying to get ready for this Super Bowl we about to play in 2 weeks. So y'all ain't finna do nothing out here. And boy, were they right. The Ravens sure didn't do nothing. They had more passion and fight in the pregame tussles than they did in that regular game. Todd Monken, dude, oh my God. Boy, how far do we fall? I mean, 2-3 weeks ago, you was all up here going looking for coaching jobs, getting praised as maybe the assistant coach of the year. And like Coach said, dude, your game plan was awful. completely off. I'm so glad you didn't bring that game plan to UGA, man. Because boy, you would not be thought of in the higher echelons that we think of you now. But you still thought of good at UGA. But I don't think the Ravens thinking of you too highly right now, Mr. Monkey. So man, you may not be there too long if you try this again next year. But like Coach said, the game plan was awful, man. You have Lamar Jackson, you have Michael Vick 2.0, and you sit up there and throw the ball 40 plus times. You only run the ball 6 times. Your running backs uniforms might as well stay at the dry cleaners. They were so clean. I mean, what did they do in the game? I mean, nobody's running the ball. It's just throw. Lamar Jackson got to prove to the world he's some type of elite passer, and that was just as bad as it gets. You know, like coming as good as it gets. Well, hey, Vince, you know your favorite movie, As Good as It Gets. Well, this the reverse. This was as bad as it gets for the Ravens, man, because you cannot have a talent like Lamar Jackson, who most of his talent come from this right here, legs. You see this right here? Legs. And what was he using? Arms. No, you got to balance it out. You use some arm, but you got to use a lot of legs, Lamar. That's your talent. Use your legs. Run. The sea was just parting open for you on some plays. And no, you didn't go right through it. You stood right up there throwing the ball. Chiefs had your game plan on lock. Everybody you throwing it to, double, triple coverage. You throwing it to somebody triple covered in the end zone. And let's not let the young rookie, Mr. Zay Flowers, off the hook. We were giving him his flowers all, before the playoffs started. Well, dude, I'm about to take them roses away and throw them in the trash because you had you made some awful rookie mistakes in that game. I mean, but you're a rookie. We're not gonna hold your head under the fire forever. But you gotta acknowledge your mistakes, man. Mistake number 1: you don't get a penalty like that in a key drive when you need those points. You're already behind the 8 ball. Your team driving down the field. You make a big play, and what do? You stand on top of the receiver. You're spinning balls like they spinning the ball or something. Looking the receiver out of his face right in front of the ref. You know you're gonna get a penalty, Flowers. The ref standing right there. Okay, so you got a chance to redeem yourself. You catch another big play, head into the end zone. What you do? You fumbled the ball. You didn't even fumble it out the end zone. You fumbled it before you got in the end zone. Bad play number 2, Flowers. Then what you do? Let's make it third time a charm. What you do? You go to the sideline. You're frustrated. You slam your hand on your helmet or somewhere on the bench, and then you end up cutting your hand. So now you cut your hand. You're not even 100%. You're probably done for the game because you're a wide receiver. You don't have your hands right. How you going to make plays? So penalty, fumble, dumb injury. Flowers, woo, boy, you better go hide during the offseason. But you're a young rookie. We know you'll come back. We'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. But like Coach said, the entire game plan was just atrocious. And Kansas City, Steve Spagnuolo, and the Chiefs, they took advantage. These are the champs. You got to knock the champs out. And you can't knock the champs out with no bull game plan, okay? So, look, the Chiefs were ready for you. Real bottom line, the Chiefs were ready because they are champs, and the Ravens weren't because they wannabes right now. I know they were champs in 2012, but we're talking about the Lamar Jackson Ravens. They still trying to get to the top of the mountain. The Chiefs have been there, and they're going to be there again soon. So, Chiefs were ready. The Ravens were. The Chiefs showed their experience, and the Ravens did not.
All righty. I'm going to go to the comments in the chat before I give any commentary on what I might feel about it. The VP said, my surprise is you knew Kelce was going to get the ball and you did absolutely nothing to stop it. Taylor Kelce torched him. What's up, Juliana Crowder? She said, what's up, fellas? Chat. You didn't get that?
I know what he said. He meant Travis, but he said Taylor. He tried to be
no.
Cover it.
He meant Taylor Kelce.
He meant Taylor.
He meant Taylor Kelce.
That's who he is. Taylor Kelce.
That's like
they together, baby.
Yeah, that's like a Rev referring to Russ as Sierra Wilson. He meant
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Stop hating, Coach. Taylor ain't going nowhere. She gonna be in our lives
Ain't got nothing
forever,
to do with you.
forever and ever.
I could care less about her.
The
I know
VP
y'all
said
say, but I love her.
the VP said the Ravens overthought this game just like in spades. You think long, you think wrong. He also says if Lamar didn't catch, well, we got that one. The Ravens got the game, gave the game away when they totally abandoned everything regarding their offense during the game and made no adjustments. I think the Ravens only ran the ball 8 times. How the Ravens defense stepped up in the second half. Coach just revealed himself. He did everything short of giving a kiss on the cheek of 330 shekels. Joe Black, the good news is given who Pittsburgh hired as OC, Baltimore.
Hey, Joe Black, I want you to revisit that when it don't go your way. I want you to revisit that. And don't hide either.
Oh, please. Coach, ain't nobody scared of Arthur Smith. We're going to be talking about him all year long.
The Red Roads, the Ravens got jumped like Simon Bishop did, as good as it gets.
I remember.
Jerome says the Chiefs pulled off a modified mini West Coast offensive scheme from the first pass, and it was all gas from there. I think we want to say first pass, PASS. Mahomes was running like a better Steve Young and dropping dimes to everybody. Ms. G said, very disappointing in Lamar Jackson's performance. And the game plan was absolutely atrocious. The VP said, I'm never going to understand the culture of athletes after they make a big play. Hint, hint, that means you're doing your dang job. They try to show up the opponent, bad sportsmanship, bad etiquette, bad all around. This generation disappoints me at times. Yeesh. All right. VP said, Coach, it's slow rev, it's okay. And then Jerome K said, like his internet.
Like you're silly.
Hey, Rev, you know, Rev, we ought to give Coach a moment to discuss his new OC. Since
we're gonna do that when we'll give it to him in next segment. We'll give it to him next segment.
We got to, because that's so much local ties to us. Let
me just say this. I'm gonna revisit a quote that I shared with our young panelist who's not here this week on last week's show. I told him as he was seeking the pick with Rudy Tomjanovich, former head coach of the Houston Rockets, two-time NBA champion. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. And that's why whenever Patrick Mahomes steps on that field, whenever Andy Reid is calling plays from the sideline, whenever Travis Kelce is on that field, you understand you're playing against not a one-time champion, but a two-time champion. And you have to realize that what took place last week in Baltimore deals with the Ravens being inexperienced for that moment. Experience matters. Coaching experience matters. Now, John Harbaugh's a champion himself. I'm not going to underplay it, but Todd Monken is a newbie to the party. And I think he was trying to get Lamar to be able to play up to the same level as Patrick Mahomes. But I think Todd Monken has to realize Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, soon to be two-time MVP, but he is not Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has a different head when it comes to the game. He has a different cool when it comes to the game. I already knew that Mahomes was in Lamar's head during the week when he stated publicly he hates playing against Patrick Mahomes. So the worst thing that happened to the Ravens last week is that their defense could not get stops at the beginning of the game. That's when the whole game plan shifted.
Yeah.
The Ravens are at their best when they normally are the ones who punch the other team in the mouth. Last week, the Chiefs punched them in the mouth, and then all of a sudden they made the mistake in changing. They realized they could get away with coming back against the Houston Texans, But unfortunately, C.J. Stroud is not the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's one Patrick Mahomes. Different ball game. So when the Chiefs went down the field, scored those 2 touchdowns during their first 2 possessions, then all HE double hockey sticks broke loose for the Ravens. They got scared. They panicked. And that's why the game plan changed. And that's why Kansas City did enough in the first half to win the game. And we saw the maturation of one Patrick Mahomes, who said, we'll settle just for being in the lead and doing nothing to allow the Ravens to get back in the game. So they played safe rather than sorry, knowing that the Ravens defense is a top-notch defense. And if they tried to continue their normal game plan, they might turn the ball over, which would shift the momentum in the game. So what Kansas City did was they said, we're going to play chess while the Ravens are playing checkers. And they just outsmarted, outcoached, outwitted the Ravens. And it was one of the best coaching jobs and quarterback play that I've ever seen, even though they only scored 17 points. Because Mahomes said, I used to beat you by scoring 30. Now I'm going to beat you by just getting enough points and making sure we maintain the lead. I mean, it was just remarkable. Just remarkable. Before I give some more comments from Revenite Nation, either one of you all got something else to say before we start moving towards the end of this topic?
Yeah, Red. I mean,
go ahead, Red. I'm sorry. Go ahead. All
right, I'll say, Rev. I mean, you're right, dude. I mean, that was the way you described how they did. They beat them methodically. Yeah, Pat Mahomes looked at that score and say, "What am I gonna take a chance for? Look at these clowns over here. They nervous. They panicking. They taking all the chances." I bet when Pat Mahomes saw that Zay Flowers play, I was like, "Fellas, look at this. It's over with." When they saw that Zay Flowers play, I bet everybody on Chiefs said, "It's over with. We ain't gonna do nothing. Here, Pacheco, hand this ball off. Just don't drop it." Because you're right. Had they started to go a little crazy, say, okay, we're going to do the Chiefs way, why give the Ravens? Their defense was stepping up in the second half. Why did they give them a chance? We have a silly turnover. They have a crazy pick six or a fumble or something to get back in the game. No, Ravens, we're not going to get you back in the game. You're going to get yourself back in the game. And they never did.
And they never did, and they self-imploded.
Yeah.
Because they gave up 14 points in the red zone. If Zay Flowers doesn't fumble that ball, the Chiefs have to revisit their game plan.
Yeah, they're going to have to start back. They're going to have to score another touchdown.
Score another touchdown because that 3-point lead would not have been enough, in my opinion. Coach, go ahead.
You look at the Ravens, and basically, if you had run your offense, you could have got back in this game. You was only down 17-7. And if you had done what you've been doing all year, run to set up the pass, you could have got back in this game. But they panicked. And when you panic, you're not going to win. I think Shannon Sharp said it or somebody said it. If Patrick Mahomes is on that field, I'm going to go for him every time over any quarterback because he's on this level. All the other quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Drew, whoever they are, they down here. Good, but you're not him. He is established, and then somebody brought a point, I'm going to stop. They asked, is Patrick Mahomes the GOAT right now? I said, no. He's getting there. He's getting there. He's close.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. He's the best player in the NFL right now in his era. Overall, not yet, but I guarantee you, as long as I can see a man throw a left-handed pass and throw one behind, no-look passes and everything on that field, I mean, how can you beat him? You got to come with the most excellent game plan to beat him because he's that guy.
I'm going to say this, Coach. I may not consider him the GOAT right now. I will consider him the best quarterback to ever play the position.
Yeah,
that's how I'm nuancing the argument right now because Tom Brady is considered the GOAT mainly because of team success.
Yeah.
We have to remember not 3 of his Super Bowls were more so because of the team more so than his play. The first 2 in New England, that was basically defensively. And then, the Buccaneers had a great team. And he just provided solid, steady QB play, which helped that team go head on to win the Super Bowl. Mahomes has been the engine for every ring that KC has won. And that's why, if we're going to do the rings, we can't give it to him because he doesn't have nearly the amount of rings that Brady has. But when we talk about pound for pound talent and the intangibles, it's not even close. Brady's not even on the radar when it comes to the ability that Patrick Mahomes may have. Last comment from you, Red.
Well, Ravens, y'all could have did the NFL world, some NFL fans a favor, but you didn't. And now you have to deal with Taylor, Kelsey, and the Taylor Swift show in the Super Bowl. That's right, baby. Taylor Swift is coming to the Super Bowl. And I don't care if she performing a concert the night before. I promise you, y'all, she'll be on that jet. The authorities already said they're going to have a plane waiting for her to make sure she makes it back to the Super Bowl. She might not perform, but she will be there all smiles and all happy with Brittany Mahomes. And we're going to get the Taylor and Brittany show in the Super Bowl. And I am happy. All you haters out there for Taylor Swift ain't doing nothing. That girl ain't doing nothing to affect the game. All she doing is going to see her boyfriend play. And some of y'all just can't stand it. Well, we don't care about you romance haters out there. We're not going to let you stop the Taylor party. And I'm sure Rev definitely ain't going to let y'all stop this Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes party. So celebrate, embrace the Taylor Swift show. Is coming to Vegas, and Red going to have a front seat, baby. I don't care how many shots I see in the Super Bowl. Come on, NFL cameras. Give me plenty of Taylor shots. You can have a few Taylor Swift commercials. I don't care. I just want to see Taylor and Brittany and the Chiefs. That's right, baby.
All right, we're going to cut Red off right there. I don't have any problem with the clips going to Taylor, but I do have a problem. I let Red in this segment talk about Taylor Swift and not anything about football. I do have a problem with that. But anyway,
go ahead, Rev. You the Chiefs fan. Go ahead and get the last word.
I'm going to let Rev Night Nation in there. He says, Rev, this goes on the Ravens, OC, and HC. They should have beat the Chiefs by 14. He also says, never underestimate the motives of the NFL to capture fringe fans. With Swift, they have secured the ultimate bag for the Super Bowl. Is that your quasi way of saying this game was rigged? That's what it sounds like. The VP says, you're right, Rev. Lamar Jackson showed up the Airbnb that Patty Cakes occupies in his head. Lamar was defeated before kickoff. He needs to suppress that type of thing. Better in the future. I've never had Patty Cakes say he hated playing against another QB. He just goes out there, assesses the situation, then goes to work. Great assessment. Sister Carter says one player doesn't win a Super Bowl. That's a team accolade. It's just a pure player. Mahomes is the most talented player to play the position. Rev, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song? Don't know any. That's not my thing. I think you probably were trying to refer that to Red. Red Rose, absolutely about Taylor Swift. $331 million. The NFL ain't turning that money away. And guess what? And guess what? Those y'all hating on Taylor Swift, if y'all had a chance to capitalize on that money, y'all would say, come on, Taylor, break me off a little bit of that chain. The VP said, KC beat Ravens on third down. Those are gut punches and taxing body blows. No diggity, no doubt. What is it with Red and Taylor? And I knew you meant Red. I knew you meant Red, Jerome. All right, man. There was another game that took place. I wonder if Dan Campbell is still in Detroit right now after what happened last week. Red, we'll start with you. We're going to be a little quicker with this one. All right, let's be a little quick with this one. Your thoughts, man, about the Lions and the 49ers.
Well, Dan Campbell, I appreciate you trying to knock my Falcons off the record book for playoff choke job. You almost came close, but I still think ours was a little bit bigger. But boy, were you trying, man. Boy, were you trying. And Rev, this is another thing when we use the word experience, because Dan Campbell, you really showed your inexperience in big time games last week. I mean, and the Niners and Kyle Shanahan, they stayed even keel and showed their championship experience, showed their championship bravado by not panicking, by just staying, playing the game, let the game play out, and it came right back in their favor. That's what they do. Dan Campbell, you idiot, you moron, you big dummy. You go down to San Fran and just hop on them, get on them good. I mean, first two possessions, 14-0. I mean, get a good beat down on them in the first half. You go into halftime with a 24-7, I think 24-7 lead. Dude, that should have been game. That really should have been game. Had you came out of halftime and did what you were supposed to do, man. Run the ball, play smart football. Stop taking all these risks, Dan Campbell. What are you doing? This is the playoffs. This ain't regular season, man. You make these type of risks and miss out, you going home. You're not gonna have a game next week, and you're gonna be in the press conference looking all sad like you did. See, your problem, Dan Campbell, is, and I don't see if Rev and Coach agree with this, you coach like a player instead of coaching like a coach. And at times that kills you, man. You want to be all the players' best friend. You want to be rah, but dude, you gotta have some discipline. You the coach, okay? You can't be out of control. I mean, and that's what you are. You coaching out of control, undisciplined every week. 4th and 3, we going for it. 4th and 5, who cares? 4th and whatever in our own territory, let's go for it. Let's be aggressive. Aggressive is nice, but sometimes you got to be balanced. Sometimes you need to be smart. You got to assess the situation and realize, is it really worth it putting my team in this type of position in the NFC Championship game? Dan, when you had a chance to go up 3 scores, instead of kicking the field goal, you go for it on 4th down. Now, I understand your kicker is probably not the best kicker. I'm hearing he's not the best kicker in between the 40 and 50-yard line. But, Dan, sometimes you got to give a young man an opportunity. Give a young man an opportunity to prove himself, prove his worth to the team. You have a kicker for a reason. If you didn't think he was worth making these kicks, why even have him on the roster? Why bring him with you to San Francisco if you're not going to use him? Or why don't you cut him and sign a kicker that maybe you have a little more faith in going into the game? Whatever you need to do, Dan, you did not do it. You wasn't completely ready, and you let an experienced team like San Francisco whittle your lead down and eventually take the lead and eventually boot your inexperienced, aggressive, dumb out the playoffs. Dan Campbell, this is on you, buddy. This is on you.
Real quickly, what Coach Red said, man, he made a great comment. I loved it where he said he coached more like a player rather than coach like a coach, man. That was an excellent statement. And I'll take it a step further. He coached like he was playing John Madden on PlayStation. That's how he coached. Yeah. All right. Coach, give us your quick comments, man. What you say about the game?
I played devil's advocate. The plays were there on 4th down. He had a drop pass by a receiver, and his quarterback didn't hit the receiver wide open. He would have been a hero if it worked, but it just so happened it didn't. And I can't put all that on Dan Campbell. I put a lot of it on him, but I got to put it on your receivers who dropped passes and who did this and that, who didn't make the plays. And I look at them as a part of the reason they lost. And the defense just forgot in the second half that they were playing the NFL championship, NFC championship game. They forgot and decided, shoot, why are we still here? I don't know. That was an overall team thing. Dan Campbell gonna take the most of the blame, but he made one comment, and I got to hold him to the fire on this one after the game. He told his players, even though it may be true, he told his players, I don't know if we're going to get back here again. Coach, I don't know if that's the right thing to say after a tough loss like that. You don't know if you're going to get back here again. It may be true, but that wasn't the time. I know he was trying to say you got to work hard we got to work harder to get back, and nobody's going to overlook us. Now everybody know who you are, but don't make that comment.
Real quickly, man, as we get ready to end up this segment, rather. Coach, I will just say this to you. You know about coaching. You used to coach at Grady High School. I coached at Mays. We also call certain things in coaching situational, right? The situation did not really call to go for it on fourth down, especially when the other team's going on a 20-0 run. You got to get points. Yeah, the plays were there, but you got to stop the bleed. And that's just like a coach in basketball letting let the other team go on a 20-0 run without calling the timeout. At some point, you got to stop the bleed. And that's where everything went wrong. Let me read these comments from Rev Night Nation. Then we got a special guest that we're going to squeeze in right before halftime, all right? G said Dan Campbell crapped out on not kicking that field goal. The VP said Dan Campbell did us a solid the first half. They played the perfect game in the second half. We just dug in like a tick and took care of business. I don't know if that was took, but all right, anyway. Dan Campbell won't be able to live that down. He killed the morale of that team. True. Kay said Dan Campbell's decision to not kick those field goals more about pride over inexperience. He's been in football too long to not understand game time situations. Said all eyes will be on the Lions next season. Danny Campbell will be under the critical eye of every Lions fan. That NFC Championship game loss will sting for a while. And the players also didn't make plays. The playoffs not Madden, rather. Coach has a point. The players dropped the passes that shouldn't have been thrown. Reynolds killed the Lions' momentum. I don't blame Campbell for going for it when the kicker they recently signed has the worst field goal percentage for kicks over 42 yards. Okay, thanks for that. But I still think you got to stop the bleeding. Coach Campbell just delivered the Marino curse to his team. No bueno. You lose faith in those players to get back here. They'll lose faith in you. You Pete Carroll your way into an L against the 49ers, and we thank you. Not Pete Carroll. That's what's up. All right, we're going to switch gears real quickly. I was able to get this in here, and as you all know, I doped at the beginning of the show on celebrating the 20th anniversary of the state championship for my alma mater, the Mays High School Raiders. And we are able to bring today one of my former players who was on that 2004 team and now who serves as the current head coach of the Mays High School Raiders. Let us welcome to the stage Coach Desmond Williams. What's going on, Des?
Hey, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Fellow Mays High in the house.
So you got two.
Yes,
well, you know, I went to Mays. Red is a Mays High graduated in the class of 98. Am I right, Red?
You're right, Red.
Coach just was happy to be able to coach on the floor at Mays High School. He didn't go to Mays. He did coach on the floor. All right. So, Des, man, we're going to jump right into it because I know you got a busy morning. Did we lose him?
Yep, for a minute.
Oh, all right, there we go. We know you got a busy morning. Matter of fact, y'all got a game tonight. And, man, big ups to you coming back, beating Chapel Hill on last night in front of the alums, in front of the team that came back to celebrate 20 years. I want to start with the 20-year reunion. Can you hear me? We lost this sound. All right, log back out and come back in.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, how about this? Log back out and then come back in.
Let me back out and I'm coming right back.
That's what we're saying. We're on the same page. And we appreciate Revenite Nation welcoming Coach to the stage. We appreciate y'all showing Coach some love. Hopefully he'll get back in here real soon. But I'm so proud of the young man. I'm going to say this when he comes back so nobody accuse me of talking behind his back. But I will say nobody would have ever imagined that he would have been the one to be the coach of the Maize High Raiders back when he played.
Really?
He heard me too. I know he heard me on that one.
Oh, he came back. There you go. He like, let me come back. Real even start talking about me.
Man, we still can't hear you, Dez. Can you hear us?
He said one more time. 369, one more time.
Oh, Lord. The VP getting on my guest. Coach Williams and Coach Thomas have the same provider.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man.
He's the one that gave you a lot of problems, real.
Well, I wouldn't say he wasn't not so good. Not so good, VP. He didn't play the smartest. Let's just say that. He was talented. He could play 3 positions, 3, 4, and 5. Athlete, could shoot, could handle, had good move, footwork. But when you talk about situational football, let's just say he was like Zay Flowers right now.
Yeah, I know. Not Zay Flowers. Oh, my goodness.
Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Yeah. All right, man. Matter of fact, yeah, he did evolve. And he became a student of the game. And I give him credit. He started out at Gene Childs Young, worked his way coaching with the girls basketball team in Maize, became the head coach of the girls and boys at Gene Childs Young, and then became the head coach at Maize. So he paid his dues, learned some things, and we'll go from there. How about we do this, gentlemen? Let's try it one more time. Let's see.
There he is.
We got sound there?
Yes, I got it.
All right, cool, man. All right, let's just jump right into it, man. I know you pressed for time. So what made you think about doing the 20th anniversary celebration that we experienced last night at Maize?
Well, the first thing is it was just so special to be a part of the first boys state championship team, and Little D and Calvin Booker was talking about it, spitballing, what we can do to celebrate it and bring it to Maize. We were trying to figure out a game, what game would be good for it, a time where most of the people will be able to show up. So being able to make that happen, not only for the team but for all the alumni, the community, it was definitely big. And I will say this: in the past, like before I became the coach, this is my 5th year. So before I became the coach, we kind of lost that whole like school pride. And that's the main thing that I've been trying to build back up is school pride. So, I'm real big on cluster night, alumni night, and senior night. Anything that we can do to get the community in the building so they can see, the team, the school, see everything. Because I'm not sure if you all know, but, the school was renovated maybe about 10 years ago, and it looked totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just say this, man. I got to give you major kudos for the way you market your players. You are using social media in such a phenomenal way. Even last night, one of your players went over the 1,000 point mark, and you had a meme and an image. You had your people in the stands throwing confetti when he broke it, man. And those are things that boost kids' morale in this social media age, man. So I really have to applaud you. Of course, that was nowhere around when you played, when I played, but you are definitely making great use of social media, and I want to applaud you for that. Now, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this real quickly. I'm gonna give you a name. All right. You familiar with the name? And I just want you to give me the first thing that comes to your mind. All right. The first thing that comes to your mind. Coach Floyd Mack.
Greatness. Now, I'll tell you something. He was hard on me.
I know.
but without me having a father figure in the house, he was what I needed.
Wow.
He was definitely what I needed. And that's like really why I wanted to be a PE teacher and a basketball coach. It was because of Coach Mack. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to come back to Mays High School. So all I can do is just try to live up to his legacy.
Wow.
Honestly.
That's awesome, man. And I know Coach Mack would love to hear those words. And as I posted with the pictures that I posted from last night, I stated Coach Mack was a great coach, but he was a far better man. And that's the thing that I enjoyed mostly last night, just to see the type of men that you all have become in 20 years. And you all have embraced the lessons that you were taught while you played ball. Coach C, Coach Carlton, what's the first thing come to your mind?
Little buddy. And let me tell you why. Because before he said everything, he'd be like, "Little buddy, you got to do it like this." Like he was just old school through and through. And some of the jewels that he was dropping on us, like it go in one ear out the other. But if you look back on it now, like it was some real good stuff.
Yeah.
Real good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Coach Mike.
So Coach Mike came in young. Everybody on the team thought that we can beat him 1-on-1. So we used to have our 1-on-1 battles and everything like that. Coach Mike, we felt like he was one of the guys because he was so young. And to this day, I still hit you up from time to time, asking you to come to the game, check out the team, and just so I can get little tidbits here and there where I can tweak things with the team, what's working, what's not working. So yeah, Coach Mike, you definitely a boost to our program.
I appreciate that. Red, you got a question?
Yeah. Vincent trying to get in on one of the comments. I guess I'll ask it. Coach, what was the one thing that guys could do in practice that would just drive Rev crazy? What was his pet peeve? What was his biggest pet peeve that could just rile him up?
Shoot, good Lord.
Everything. Lord.
It was no. it was probably something to do with me.
Oh, okay.
Because when we was in school, it was kind of like street ball. You know what I mean? So all the dribbling, the throwing the alley-oops and all that stuff. I'm not a point guard, but in my mind, I was a point guard.
That's the key statement in your mind. That's for sure. And just to add more context to what Des was talking about, y'all remember the evolution of AND1 basketball? So AND1 came out really around their time in high school. So everybody just started thinking that they could dribble the air out of the ball and wanted to juke everybody. Matter of fact, we had one player on the championship team we had two players. One that graduated before Des, named Matthew Williams in 2001. He played on our team that went state runner-up. He was on one of those AND1 films. And then Ja Rule,
Jonathan
Murray. He was on one of the tapes while he was in high school. So, and he was on one of those tapes that they filmed at Morris Brown before Morris Brown shut down. So therefore, everybody thought that they had a handle. And this guy right here, you couldn't tell him he didn't have a handle. but Des was a very versatile player. Let me see what Vincent said. Rev trying to coach them fundamentals, and Coach Williams and them boys are trying to be AND1. That's about right. That's about right. All right, man. We know you don't have a whole lot of time. Coach, you got a question for him?
Coach, do you project any of your players right now to be college prospects going into it after they leave Mays?
Yes, I definitely do. But I want to start out with saying that the portal is really hurting a lot of our kids, especially last year, the year before, and definitely this year as well. Just speaking on all the seniors that I have, we have 6 seniors And really, really 5 of those guys could play college basketball. But with the portal, you just never know. So it's kind of like you got to take different avenues if you really want to play college ball. Whether that D2, JUCO, you might have to just get your foot in the door, ball out for a year. You jump in the portal, and then maybe you can find your way to D1 because nowadays it's really hurting. Okay, if you think about it, college coaches don't have a lot of time. So are you going to take an 18-year-old freshman or a 21-year-old transfer who already unplayed 2-3 years?
Yeah, that's well said. Go ahead, Red.
Oh, I guess I asked you, coach, since you're a high school coach and we're talking about college. Do you think the stability or maybe the continuity with the high school game, do you think that helps players at least probably when they get further in their careers? Because we know the college game is not that stable, but maybe when they get to the pros or whatnot, they can look back on the lessons they learned in their high school years and maybe apply that to some of their pro game. Because like you say, with the college game and the transfer portal, it's not really that much stability or continuity in the college game right now.
So I'm going to be honest with you. It's not a lot of stability in high school as well because let me tell you, everything trickles down. With the NBA players who up and leave, they not staying anywhere long term. They get that big deal, and then they want to force their way out. In college, everyone leaving after 1 year. If they don't like the situation, no matter how good of a season they might have had, they leave. In high school, it's the same thing. My not speaking on me, but I'm giving you an example. Your 9th grade year, you playing on this one team who's not real good. You probably averaging 20 points. Your sophomore year, you transfer to a powerhouse where now your numbers go down to 8 points. You don't like that. Then you transfer again the next year to another school, trying to find where the grass is greener on the other side, and realizing it's not. So it's like everything in the NBA trickles down after a certain point in time. So even high school has changed, and I don't think it's going to change back unless the NBA change.
Man, that's a great assessment, man. I really appreciate that. Carrie Antoine, what's going on, fellow Mays High graduate? Showing his Mays
What's up,
High
Carrie?
pride, Mays High Raider Nation. So that's dope.
04.
He graduated with you?
Yes, sir. 04.
All right. Here's a and Revenite Nation. How many more minutes you got, Dez?
I'm good to go. I'm good to go.
All right. If you got some questions, Revenite Nation, that you want to give Coach Williams, go ahead and post them. Like I'm about to post the VP's question right here. Here's a question, Coach Williams. Do you feel that AAU is hurting basketball?
So I'll be honest with you. Yes and no. Now, the part that I say yes to is a lot of AAU programs don't teach fundamentals. They don't teach anything. They just say, here's the ball, go hoop. And that's the problem. Now, the good part about AAU is the exposure. So you're in front of a lot of coaches. It's more live periods for the AAU season, and you're able to get yourself out there. But what college coaches do, they see you in AAU, then they contact your high school coach, try to come see you in the high school game because it's more structured. So they can see you. They see you AAU, balling out, doing your thing, just going wild. They come to high school, see if you can handle it under some real structure, and then they try to recruit you. So it's a yes and no on the AAU.
Wow, man. As I was thinking about some of the stuff that you just shared, it came to me that I really don't think we would have won state in this current environment. Because I think about some of the players on the team. We have some players who came from real solid backgrounds, some who didn't, just comes with the territory, and how this new age would have definitely been able to influence them to transfer. Money's being thrown because about the matter of fact, you told me about the paid leagues. And in Atlanta, overtime
OTE.
elite.
Yep.
You know, and some of those guys would have probably been sent money. You possibly could have been sent some money to go somewhere. So I realized that we probably would not have had as much success with the lack of structure. Now, what I'll ask you this is, with the paid league, how is it hurting your average ball player not to be playing against the superstars of high school basketball?
I think so. What I think, if they were able to actually play them guys more consistently, then the game won't be too big for them. But now you're playing against mediocre players, mediocre talent, and then you got a game against an okay team. Then your gym is packed out. You might not ride to the occasion because it might be one or three games per year where it's like that. Where back in the day, almost every game was like that. So I think that's really hurting. And when you talk about paying high school kids, now they have NILs for high school kids. And what I notice is you have some programs where people are, let's use the word boosters, have companies that can get a kid, market a kid, and they end up transferring, moving into the zone of the school while getting NIL funds from someone who's connected to that school.
Wow. Go ahead, Red.
This is a personal question just for Rev and the coach now. Now, y'all know we went to Mays High, and y'all know our reputation, with the ladies and all, the ladies at Mays High. And I'm just asking Coach Rev. I mean, Lord, it was bad enough. Things were tough when I had to compete, with the guys at Mays. Now you asking me to compete with guys getting NIL deals and stuff? Man, how am I get a date, man? I got to compete with the high school guys getting NIL deals, and my broke Six Flags working, Gallerilla 8 working, competing with that. Man, I ain't going to have no dates at Mays competing with these guys, man. Bad enough I had Rev and all the other guys there. I had to work my way through the jungle and stuff. I'm so happy with Rev left, man. All them ninth graders that were Christian on him, man. Lord, man. God. I mean, Lord, we got NIL deals now. Man, Rev going to have about 3 jobs in high school to get him a date, man.
Well, Red, let me just say this. And I believe, and I'm going to try to say this as discreetly as possible. And Des, I'm gonna just say, don't comment. Don't make no facial gesture. Let's just say the population at Mays has drastically changed since we were students at Mays.
Oh, Rev, I know that.
Let's just say that.
I won't say nothing else, but I'll just say I know that.
But it's also social media, right? So what was not at Mays, them kids be all over the place, man. And then they can Uber if they don't drive.
Oh. Man, imagine us having cell phones and social media back when we were there. Oh my God, Rev and Coach. Woo.
Yeah, that's what's up. All right, Des, go ahead. Hold on right quick. Let me get these comments in, Coach, and we're gonna wind it up real quickly. What's up, David Burns? Glad to have you.
David
Red,
in the house. What's up?
The VP, Red Rose. Neil was not your problem with the ladies.
NIL.
What's up, Horace from the Sports Roundtable, man? What's going on? Sister Beckman said, "Stop it, Red." Dave Bird said, "You be having them laughing." I'm on the floor laughing with Red. Jerry Martin, to get back to some serious stuff, he said, "I believe young guys don't want to develop in college, become a quality NBA player. One and done is hurting the quality of the NBA game." Vincent Woodruff, the VP, said, "Thanks for answering my question. AAU is more of a marketing arm, but I wish that the fundamentals was taught more rather. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
Coach Williams, currently you are kind of right in the middle of the pack. You got I think like an 8-5 record in the region. You right in the middle. Do you think that you all with this team with the 6 seniors can win the region tournament, and how far do you think you all can go in the state?
I definitely think we can win the region and go deep into the state. And let me tell you why. This whole season we deal with adversity. Um, our our second best player been hurt since I want to say the first week of December with a high ankle sprain. His first game back was Tuesday. He wasn't that healthy. He played last night and he looked phenomenal. Like he looked really, really great. And I'm thinking by the time we get to the region tournament, he'll actually be 100%. We had one of our bids. He went down with a dislocated ankle. He's done for the season. So like we've been through a whole lot. We had kids who was sick with the flu. They missed games. So a lot of these games that we lost, I don't like making excuses, but we were never 100%. And that's like this year is the first year where I have gone through so much with kids sick, injuries, all that good stuff. And it's making us a better team because everyone is able to step up, get their playing time, so we can go deep if we need to. But I think that it's gonna be real interesting in a week and a half when we get into that region tournament because
Where
we just knocked out the number one team in the region in Chapel Hill by 12.
where's the region tournament?
It's going to be played at Tri-Cities.
Oh man, it should have been played
boy.
in May.
So
Yeah,
we
Tri-City.
voted on it last year. It was played at Mays, and then Tri-City had got it for this year.
Okay.
Hey,
Man, who the
Horace.
world want to go to Tri-Cities and play a tournament?
Well, back
ain't
in the
it fun?
day before Mays was remodeled, Tri-Cities was the spot that everybody wanted to play their region tournament. They had the best court,
Okay.
the way it was set up, and so forth, so on. I think since then they've remodeled it. Am I right, Des?
They did remodel it. Now I'm gonna push y'all on. Y'all can't tell anyone, but coming very soon, Mays Court is gonna get remodeled,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and they're gonna have something very nice on the court.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward
Hey,
to it.
you must gonna have a hey coach, you must gonna have a logo of Rail pulling up for one of his mini 3-point shots that he jacked up when he was there. All that hot dogging he was doing. Rail was gonna take about 20 shots a game when he was playing, man. And then have a nerve to come on here and get on my boy Kobe when he was the Kobe of Mays High basketball back in the day.
Lord, Horace, go ahead and ask, type in your question, man. If you got a question, go ahead and type in your question for Coach Williams, man. So let me just ask you, with the state of high school basketball being what it is, now coaches are recruiting and so forth, so on. Like, do you see yourself staying in the high school game long term, or do you have ambitions to move on up to a higher level of coaching?
So I will be honest with you. I want to stay, and I want to stay at Mays because like I said before, Coach Matt, like everything I'm doing is I'm trying to walk through Coach Matt footsteps. And if you think about it, Coach Matt started at Young.
Right.
I started at Young
Yep.
Middle School. Coach
Yep,
Matt
right
went to
here. Me too.
Mays. Yep.
Me too,
See,
coach.
I went to Mays. So I'm literally trying to like walk in his shoes and be and if possible, I don't think it's possible, but be as great as he was. And I can't I wouldn't want to move up to college. I had an offer. I told him no, but high school is where I need to be. And in our community now, it's so many kids without father figures. So I can be that positive role model for them so they don't have to look to the rappers, the gangsters, the drug dealers that's in their community. So yeah, I definitely want to stay at the high school level.
And I just want to admire you, man. I've been knowing you ever since you were 14 years old, man. These years have gone by so fast, man. And just to see the young man, young adult, father, husband that you've become, man, is just making my heart warm. And just to see your focus on the community, that's one of the things that I strive off of, trying to do things in the community. That's why I work with the team now, because Mays is still in the community where I was brought up, where my parents still have a home And just to hear you just keep talking about community definitely is blessing me. And as VP said, Coach William understands the assignment, sure enough. All right, Horace has a non-Mays related question. Now he says this: who would you pick as the best one and done player out there? Zion, Melo, Durant, or Michael Beasley?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about college or what they did in the league after?
What they did in college, I would assume. And I would say let's just do it like this, since he didn't provide context. Overall, well, I would say college because he put Beasley. Beasley doesn't measure up, so it got to be college.
So I'm going to say Melo. Mike Beasley had the best numbers. Kevin Durant was the most skilled. Zion was just overwhelming. But it's Melo. Because Melo came in and he led his team to the championship. And not many people have done that. Like you can't come on, man. Melo was great. Melo was great.
All right, man.
I think I agree with Coach.
For you, Coach.
Because had we said overall, I probably would have said Durant, but we're keeping it.
Oh, for sure. He got his resume is not even close. Very commendable, Coach Williams. The kids need your leadership. Much success to you, Coach Williams. Thanks for giving the Red and Red Sports Show some of your time. This is my mom. I don't know if you remember my mom, Dez. This young coach warms my heart.
Thank you, Ms. Harris.
Melo Lee led the Qs to the chip with that sweat shot. I wanted, man,
sweet
shot. Vincent, man, you get Jerome. You being like Jerome Case. You've been cased today, bro.
Lying, man.
With that sweet shot, and he got heck out of Dodge. All right, man, we're gonna get ready to end this interview, man. But I do want to kind of throw something at you while on the show. I'm gonna be doing some more stuff social media wise once I graduate with my doctorate in May, and I just want to know if you might be open next year to us doing maybe a weekly or bi-weekly coaches show, me and you.
Yes, I definitely think that'd be something that I would definitely love to do, and then possibly we can have the show done at Mays. We can do it during the girls' game, and then you can keep doing it during the boys' game. I think that might be something that the people might be interested in.
Well, that would be periodically, because you know I do live in Pennsylvania now.
I know. But look, we play.
How's that gonna work?
If we get a sponsor, then I can start flying weekly.
But, look, we play Mays and Dub next year at Mays.
Okay.
I'm telling everybody now, we're gonna celebrate the next 20th anniversary of that 05 championship.
05, baby.
Okay. I think now y'all let me know. I'll try to get off work that day and come over there and celebrate y'all.
You can host it live, Coach Mike.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay, yeah.
We'll do that.
So let me know.
I'll, after the season, I'm not gonna bog you down, but after the season, man, we're gonna seriously put some legs to this to make this work, because I actually want to do a coaches show with you, and then where I live now, I want to try to do a coaches show with the head coach at Coatesville High School. So, and man, matter of fact, I would love one day where Mays could play Coatesville. So I don't know how that could work, man, but to kind of see how that could work, get you to come to Pennsylvania one year they get to go to Atlanta, man, that would be dope. So maybe we could try to work that out at some point.
I'm definitely down with it. I'm definitely down.
Hey, real. Vincent say, call your boy Creflo. He'll get you flowing back and forth.
and VP said, the Pascal Deacon board is amending Rev's contract. Creflo Dollar to provide the check.
He's gonna provide the anointing of the check.
All right, guys, share whatever you want to share, man, as we close you out. Whatever's on your heart that you want to say real quickly, man. Just drop a nugget on us. If you want to give some words of advice to folk who might have kids playing basketball, aspiring to go to college, whatever's on your mind, man.
I do want to say, everyone who has kids that's playing basketball, remember that they're still kids, and at the end of the day, you don't want to make it a business for them when they're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. Let them be kids. Let them enjoy the game. Don't put all the pressure on them, because a lot of times parents try to live through their kids. No,
Oh my
if they
God, do
if
they?
they don't, yeah, if they don't like the game, they don't like the sport. Allow them to take a step back. Maybe they'll come back to wanting to play, but don't make it a something that they have to do. Make it something that they want to do. And then also I want to give a shout out to my coaching staff. I think that I have one of the best coaching staffs in Georgia, and especially to Coach Z. Her name is Thema Aziz. She does so much. She's our strength and conditioning coach. She deals with flexibility. She do yoga. She stretches the kids. She also a nutrition specialist. So she gives the guys tips on what to eat, what not to eat, what to drink, what supplements they should be taking, and after all that, she also does the game stats. So without her, a lot of this, and and she handles our social media, Twitter, our IG page. She handles it all. So without her, most of the stuff that you see, most of the stuff that equate to wins would not happen. So I definitely want to give her a big shout out as well.
Man, great job, man, and I'm just glad to be able to be connected to you 20 years plus later, man, from when we initially met. You know I'm here for you. I'll do what I can. You got to pray for some more finances if you want me to help you.
Yes, please.
But seriously, man, I'm just proud of you, man, and I just pray that God will continue to give you health, so that you can make a positive difference in the young man's life. And I look forward to success, not only on the basketball court, but off the basketball court for these young men. Because as you know, we won 2 championships, but you got more years as a citizen than you ever will have playing the game of basketball. And that's why character and developing character is so important. So I'm going to read this last comment, because the VP summed it up. Reverend Knight Nation, give it up for our special guest, Coach Williams. Great message, great inspiration, leader of our young people. We need more men like you in the community. Big ups. Come on, let's give it up to Coach.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
I gotta give it up to my fellow Southwest and Mays High alum.
Yes, sir.
We just kept it at Mays. We didn't need to talk about Southwest. Bunch middle school.
left out of here.
Bunch middle school is where that. But man, take care, Des. We'll have to have you back on the show, and then again, I'll be in touch with you in terms of next year. Okay.
Okay. All right. Talk to y'all soon.
All right, man.
Nice
be
to meet
blessed.
you, Coach. No.
All right, man. That was great, man.
He missed the opportunity. He should have said, "I just want to give a shout out to to all the young men coming up from the middle school ranks. If you want to win, come to me."
Look at Coach. Des got his hand on the pulse of everybody in the area, not just in Atlanta.
That's good.
I mean, nowadays, with all of the movement that is going on in high school basketball, you got to be aware of what's going on in Cobb County, Gwinnett County, Rockville County, any other county, man. So I guarantee you, Des is equipped to coach in this environment. And Coach Mack, nor I could have coached in this environment.
Y'all bought him up the right way, real. So you gotta take a little credit. He learned from y'all, so he learned something.
And this is what it's all about, man. That's why I thank God for the opportunity to be able to be in some of the positions that I've had. Like, if you had seen Des, not to say he was a hellraiser or anything like that, he openly admitted he didn't have a father figure. Des did a lot of stuff to try to get attention. He would just do stupid stuff, like the average kid, but he would kind of go overboard a little bit. But just to see how he developed, how he's matured, and at the end of the day, that's the kind of program that Coach Mack ran at Mays. He had solid people around his players. He had solid coaches who were also good people around his players. And now it's just such a blessing to see 20 years later. Yes, we hold up a championship trophy in 04. We'll come back and do it again in 05. But the best thing is seeing the majority of these young guys become solid men. And that's what it's all about. And last thing, and we'll move on and we'll go right into halftime. And we'll probably have to cut some of the show, but it's all good.
The whole show feel like it's been a good show.
I think the thing that I love most about what Coach Mack did as a head coach, he never put basketball over academics.
No, not Coach Mack.
And that was one of the things that I appreciate about him most. Even when some of our star players were not making the grade, he would say, "You've been relieved from practice for a couple of weeks. You can't play in this game."
Mm-hmm.
And to see how that has resonated. Like one guy, we thought we were going to lose. We were going to lose this one guy to the streets. He finished in 05, was a part of both of our championships. Didn't play much in 04, but he was a good role player off the bench for us in 05. And he did lose his way after he graduated a little bit. But to see him come through that gym last night, and he said, "Coach, thank you for all the life lessons you taught us." That's what it's all about at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. So I thank God for that. Last comment on this. VP said, "I love the fact that Coach William recognizes that you have to evolve to reach today's youth as coach that handles their social media. Let me know that he gets it. I love this. I'll be following his progress. You just gained a fan." That's what it's all about. I'll put on our Red and Red Sports Show page some of the social media that I know about. And if you want to tag it and so forth, so on, do it. Red, what's up?
I'll make the last comment as far as coaching regard. Now, y'all know I played on the football team, quote unquote, # on the football team. You didn't play too much.
You kept the bench from flying up.
Right. But the thing about the coaches is, I remember more the conversations that me and Coach Helen, me and Coach Davis, just the coaches, the conversations that we had mostly on the sideline when it was just one-on-ones, when they were saying, "Red, we appreciate you, a little guy, come out here every day, you bush your butt," that type of stuff. I mean, just the special things the coaches would talk to you one-on-one. I remember most of those situations and comments more so than actual game. I already know somebody making a little comment. That's right. I rode the bitch for a little guy like me. I wasn't starter, but I do remember my coaches and the lessons they tried to teach us, especially when they had you one-on-one.
Yeah.
But Rev, that's me and you coach, and that's what it's all about when you can go 10 years later, 20 years later, and you got a kid who, like you said, come up and talk and remember you and talk to you about, and they said thank you. That means you did something right.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people have to understand is if you want to make a difference in young people's lives, you have to build a relationship with them.
Yep.
And I think that's what you saw today, how Dez didn't mind come sharing, was basically built on the relationships that Coach Mack, he set the tone. He was the head coach. Coach C and I always knew the importance of building a relationship with them. So we just didn't always talk basketball. We talked life. And even in Dez's adult life, we've had some candid conversations and things of that nature. And the thing I appreciate the most, as I used to tell a coach, and I used to work at NYSP, National Youth Sports Program in Morehouse College, where kids used to be able to go for the summer for free, and elementary school kids up to, I think, 12. They participate in different sporting programs, enrichment, math and science, so forth and so on. When I wasn't very well liked, because I was, I was a stern guy. Even though I was so young. And I used to tell the kids all this: I'm not here to be your friend, because it's not like we can go to the club together because you can't get in. So I'm not here to be your friend, but I'm here for you to respect me And once you respect me, if friendship comes from it, it's all good. And that's the thing that I love, the fact that these guys respected our coaching staff, and friendship has evolved later on down the line because of the respect factor. All right, man, we can go on and on, but it is officially.
Rev telling half the truth. When we went in NYSP together, yeah, he was stern, but he got out there and we had a faculty student basketball game. He destroyed the kids, and they didn't like him. That's what it was. He called what he wanted. He was out there whooping them kids, and they were getting frustrated. That's all.
Well, that was near my. Those were my younger days for sure. For sure. Hey, quiet as it kept. Coach used to run up and down that court too, and he had a little jump on him too. So those were the days, man. Definitely. But again,
I wish I could have saw that, man.
Hey, Coach wasn't no slouch. Coach wasn't no slouch. But man, this is halftime of the Red and Red Sports Show. We're gonna have an abbreviated second half. But thank y'all so much for hanging out. We'll be right back. And we are back on the Red and Red Sports Show, ready to give you the second half. Just some other comments. The VP said, Red Rose, Matt, props to guys like you who went out and gave it a go.
Appreciate that, Vince.
So he's saying guys like you who rode the bench. I got you.
Oh, see.
I'm just playing with you, Red.
I know, man.
He threw me a softball. He threw me a softball right there. Yeah.
But I didn't get that much.
One thing I appreciate about you, Red, you definitely are self-aware. Definitely are self-aware. And a lot of cats are not self-aware, and you definitely are self-aware. So I give you mad props for that.
Crazy. I ain't gonna go out there acting like I was Dion. I knew exactly who I was. And I that's why I say I appreciate the fact that I was out there with the guys for 4 years. The relationships I still got to this day because I went out there every day. Never missed a practice. Part of the team. I still got lifelong friendships because of it.
All right, Red, let everybody know he never missed a practice.
Yep.
Dope. Sister Harris said, respect evolves into friendship. So true. What's up, Anthony Corey? Great show, Matt. I missed it. All right, gentlemen. Let's see how we're going to pivot here. Because, man, that was just excellent TV, man. It actually made me think about the time that we had the assistant basketball coach when I played at Morehouse, Coach Grady Brewer, when he came on our show some years ago. Now he's gone home to be with the Lord. Rest in peace.
Oh, man, he passed away?
Yeah, he passed away 2 years ago. But man, that was great to have Dez on the show, and you got to excuse me, man. That was just a great coaching moment, just to see a young man who you had a hand in his life in some capacity to just come in, and the way he presented himself. I'm just proud of him, man. Real proud. All right, let's see how we're gonna pivot real quickly. We'll just do 5 for 5, man. And then we'll go
knock out it 5 for 5.
You have the right, and then we'll pick the games next week. Pick the game rather next week. All right, this is the portion of the show where The panelists, we got 2 today. We'll have 1 minute to talk about the subject at hand, 45 seconds single shot, 15 seconds group shot after 1 minute. We'll hit the mute button while they're talking. Feel free to type your comments about the subject matter at hand as we do 5, 4, 5. And I know if the VP is still in the room, he's about to hit me with this Q Lunit, so I'm going to get to it right now as we get ready for 5 for 5. There we go. All right. Reverend Knight Nation, feel free to chime in while they're talking. First one, is the 65-game rule for season awards fair or foul? Red, we'll start with you. Ready, set, go.
To me, it's completely fair. I mean, I'm sick of watching these NBA players sit out night after night with these little bitty small nicks and injuries. Look, if you seriously hurt, then fine, you need to stay out. But if you're not seriously hurt, forget load management, forget all these little minor injuries. We need you playing. Fans pay their money, they want to see you play, and you want the reward at the end of the season. You want the financial rewards, you want all the recognition awards. Well, hey, you got to play. Stop trying to get something for nothing, okay? You want MVPs and comeback players and rookie of the years? Well, you better give me a good chunk of the season, because if not, you ain't winning nothing. And so it is what it is. You want to blame somebody, blame the San Antonio Spurs, blame all these players for load management. But I like it, and I'm glad it's here.
Coach, what you got?
It's completely fair. Everybody's looking at the situation with Joel Embiid. They don't think it's fair that he might not be able to get an award. But hey, in a sport, you take chances on getting hurt. I'm sure he didn't plan on getting hurt by playing, but it's because the main thing is when you got a fan, maybe a little fan, a kid who saves up money or whatever to go to the game and see their favorite player, and you just sit for whatever reason, that's foul. So I think it's totally fair that they had a rule. Make these guys stay on the floor.
All right, we got Sister Harris says fair for the fans and their finances. Lexus Hill, fair. It should be more, to be honest. They played more before, and that's very true. And I just think about just what happened in Boston the other night. Think about how much money that ticket was in Boston to go see LeBron and Anthony Davis sit on the bench. And that happens more so than not well before they put this rule in, and the fans are the ones getting hosed because of this. And then also, we may not try to be too sympathetic toward the owners, but the owners are getting hosed because some of them qualify when not playing a whole lot of games for awards that are incentive laden when it comes to contracts. So now the owners are getting more bang for their buck if these guys are playing a lot more and are actually earning these extra incentives by playing a certain amount of games. Because, it's messed up. You play 50 games and then you get first team all NBA and then you get a max contract. So they got to change it. Anthony Corey said the LeBron rule. All right, let's move on to the next one, gentlemen.
It's really the Spurs rule, Anthony.
Yeah, the Spurs created the monster. Coach Popovich, best rookie season for an NFL quarterback. Go ahead, Coach. Go.
Easily, you got to look at C.J. Stroud. The season he had, big time. And everybody said poor Carolina, but C.J. Stroud just came in and just made this team, along with his coach, a great team. They won in the playoffs, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with for a long time. So I got to go with C.J. Stroud.
And that's for all time or just this year?
Just this year, not all time. Oh Lord, I'd have to dig.
Oh, we talking about all time.
All time. Woo. You might have to come back to me on that one because there's so many candidates. that I got to think of. Goodness gracious.
Red, jump in there.
All right, well, I'm gonna go with one of Coach's boys. I think Ben Roethlisberger had a pretty good rookie year, being that he ended his rookie year in the AFC Championship game. I can't think of too many quarterbacks who made a Super Bowl in their rookie year, but for Big Ben to be one game from the Super Bowl in his rookie season, I have to go with that. Might be that may be top for me as far as rookie quarterback season. I know Cam Newton had a good season. CJ Stroud had a good rookie season, and there's a few others that I'm not thinking of, but I definitely remember Big Ben making the AFC Championship game in his rookie season. So I go with Big Ben Roethlisberger.
All right, Coach. You said get back to you. We're coming back to you in 3, 2, 1, go.
You could also make a case for what's his name, Andrew Luck for the Colts. His team was one of the worst teams in the NFL back in the days, and he got them to 11-5 and the playoffs. The stats might not have been as good, but he improved that team big time. I hate that he had to retire early, but so we never know what he could have been. But you could say Andrew Luck.
Yep, that was good.
Andrew Luck. All right, let's see if Reverend Nation, CJ Stroud holds, had the best rookie season all time. Kurt Warner. I didn't know if he had a great year. Yeah. Rookie year. Okay.
Rookie year, though.
Yeah. Dave Burns, going back to the NBA conversation, has nothing to do with the awards and has everything to do with the rulings behind contracts and extra money, and that they are selected for all NBA owners. The media really caught the tism on this whole situation. All right. Here we go. Next topic at hand, Pro Bowl activities. Quick question. Are you watching? What says you, Rick?
I'll admit, Rev, I did watch them last night. I had recorded the Pro Bowl because I didn't even know what time it came on. So I think I recorded them on the NFL Network. So it was on my DVR last night. So I took a peek at the little quarterback competition. I don't think I watched anything after that. But the quarterback competition was kind of nice. How they got to stand there and hit certain points on the field for points, and they got to make all the throws on the field. I like that right there. I like the precision. The precision passing quarterback competition is a plus for me.
Coach, what you got? Go.
I probably rather watch a documentary on dirt than to watch that last night. The catching a pass, something they were catching a pass from over water and all that stuff. That's kind of cute, I guess. And not taking into consideration that a player might get hurt doing that, but hey, that's the Pro Bowl. It's deteriorated from a football game into just showing off and doing this and that, and just I guess they're just having fun. So hey, they can have it. It's all good though. I may watch a corner of it just while I'm changing channel.
Miss Harris said,
that precision pass was all right.
Is the Pro Bowl relevant? I would say it is relevant because you still want to give recognition to those who had a great season. Now, is the Pro Bowl game relevant? Absolutely not if they're not going to play. But at least the NFL is trying to be creative to at least allow them to be showcased in some form, some fashion. What they're doing is relatively new, so we're seeing the raw form of what they're trying to do, and some of the stuff that they're doing will stick. Some of it may not stick. Something may be added. So I think we just have to be like Joel Embiid right here and trust the process to make this Pro Bowl experience what it's going to be. Jeremy said
they need to have it here in Atlanta. Have the games here in Atlanta.
They may not get top performance if they had it. As long as no one blows out their knee like Robert Edwards style, then it's all good. The skills competition is better than the game itself. VP said, Coach's infatuation with dirt is enlightening. We're going to need to know more about this acidic levels in soil. What's the pH content? Phosphorus based. A little joke for the heck of it. All right, on to the next topic. at hand. And here he is. Duke, UNC, best rivalry in sports. What says you, Coach? Go.
Ooh, it's been some good ones. You got Lakers, Celtics, Yankees, Red Sox, Michigan, Ohio State. I mean, it's some good ones, but just for the sheer, I guess, the sheer angriness, that's a word, between these two teams, the sheer hatred when they played each other's gym. Duke and UNC got to be up at least in the top three if it's not the top one, because they have some good old fashioned hate, and they really project when they play each other. And it's so even. I guess it makes it a good rivalry. So I could say top three.
Red.
Nope. Sorry, baby. It's Lakers. It's the Green Boys. Both of us, same amount of championships. Still waiting to break that tie. You saw this past Thursday how pumped up that game was. Even with our two best guys on the bench, we still made that game something to be seen. I mean, Austin Reeves, D-Lo, well, I'm glad I got to talk about it. Austin Reeves, D-Lo went off, baby. Made them Tatum boys. Like I say, Jason Tatum showed up again. The Celtics and Lakers, I'm sorry, with the amount of championships and history between them, that's going to always be number one for me.
All righty. The VP said Yankees Red Sox is up there. Anthony Corey says Atlanta sports team versus league refs.
Oh, no.
Hands down the best. Vincent Woodruff said definitely top three. Lakers, Celtics, Duke, UNC.
There you go.
Yankees, Red Sox. Let me ask you. With the VP saying this is top three, would Ohio State, Michigan crack into that top three and move somebody out?
Nope.
I say no on that one too.
Not on football? All right,
because Ohio State got way more chips than Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Michigan only really won back in the 90s with Woodson, and then one they just got this past year. Ohio State been winning them and really been dominating this rivalry for a while, real. So I'm gonna say that's a little bit down on the rank. It's up there, but it's down. It's not over the top three.
I have to go with that, and I have to be fair. Anytime you start a basketball video game off a rivalry, it got to be up there. Because before there was NBA 2K, the game that revolutionized video games was a game on Sega Genesis called Lakers versus Celtics. That was a game that revolutionized video game. VP said honorable mention, Michigan, Ohio State. Woody Hayes said one time that if he ran out of gas in the state of Michigan, he would push his bus to another state for fuel. Anthony Corey says Saints, Falcons. I think it's a good rivalry between the two teams. It's not a national rivalry, and it hadn't hit national rivalry status because both of those teams stink pretty frequently, so which robs the rivalry from national attention. He said Charles Barkley versus Donuts. Lord have mercy. Lakers versus Celtics video game. I used to play that all the time. It was a great game. It was a real great game.
Oh, look who in the house, real.
Who's that?
Who in the house? Oh, Maze Highlaw. Oh, Mike. Mike Matters.
Mike. Okay, Mike Matters. What's going on, boy?
What's up, Mike? Ready to come up here and slurp LeBron some more?
Oh, Lord, here we go. Last topic, 5 for 5. Is Caleb Williams arrogant, overly confident, or completely misunderstood? What says you, Coach, since you're the USC guy?
I think he got a little cockiness about him since he's been doing so well. But I'm just trying to figure out why are all these different unfounded reports coming out about him when they talking about he said he didn't want to play for the Bears, but nobody could prove what site it came from, and it was irrelevant. His dad has said a lot of stupid stuff, but he got some cockiness about it because he thinks he's gonna be good, and everywhere you go, they project him as the number one player to be picked. So I think if you don't have confidence, I don't know if you're gonna be successful. So we'll see what happens when the Bears pick him or if the Bears pick him, because that Justin Field thing keeps hanging around. What they gonna do with him? I personally think the Bears should just go ahead and get Caleb and trade Justin Field to the Steelers. My bad.
All right. Somehow we had to get the Steelers in. Go ahead, Red.
Yeah. I mean, Coach know him better than anybody. I mean, it's his guy. So I guess I'll go with his assessment, even though the comments that's coming from his camp, probably like Coach says, probably his dad is saying all this stuff. But if it come from your dad, Coach, you know how they say, it come from your family, folks gonna assume it's coming from you.
Yep.
So Caleb probably gotta take the hit with what his dad say. He need to tell the dad to shh, dad, because all this stuff is coming back on him. Now, I do think Caleb is confident in his abilities. I don't think he is arrogant as the media and stuff making it sound, because you're right. We never heard some of this stuff come out of his mouth directly. So I think he's a little misunderstood to the fact that his reputation is getting a type of aura that he's probably not asking for, but he's extremely confident. I just think he needs to tell his group to keep it down a little bit. Dad, I know you're happy for your boy. I know you're excited, but like we say, when you say something, it gets addressed back to him. He's the one gonna have to answer these questions. Not dad, not mom, not the best friend, not the entourage. It's Caleb that has to answer these things. So just be a little careful, going into his career. Not to be so, out there with the comments. Let Caleb speak for himself a little bit.
All right. Red got in there just before he got muted. All right. All right. Good topics, man. Good job, gentlemen. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Rivalry, Caleb versus Kleenex after a loss.
Oh, my God.
Caleb might be setting himself for a major letdown. Remain humble, young man. Yeah, that's what I'm really interested in seeing. Hold on. Okay. That's what I'm really interested in seeing, is just his evolution. See if he's like kind of bratty, or is he like really trying to become really moving into manhood. David Burns said, me personally, I'm not going to act like Caleb is the first player to say they didn't want to go to a certain team. Wasn't first, won't be the last. Can't get on Caleb. Eli Manning's family let it be clear that they weren't going to the San Diego Chargers. And that's how he got traded. That's how Drew Brees got traded to the San Diego Chargers. So, we'll see what happens, and it's going to be very interesting. All right, we're going to revisit maybe one or two things, and it's going to all fall under this, and we'll end the show on this, where we talked about NFL coaching news. And we know that there was a coaching hire this past week.
Vince trying to sneak in shots all day.
Rev said he thought he heard the Deacon boy down. What without his presence? He said they're voting on which flavor of Kool-Aid to serve at the rummage scale next week. In honor of Black History Month, as Anthony Corey, the Falcons decided on the year-round celebration. Y'all spoke culture. Well, now we definitely got it. Thoughts on the hires?
Give us a chance. We're about to tell you.
Did we get a chance to talk about Raheem Morris? I think we did last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I think overall, we on this panel felt that it was a good hire. I think he fit what the Falcons were looking for. They wanted an experienced coach, and they got an experienced coach. His record is not the greatest, but as Joe Black laid out last week in a phenomenal fashion, where he was really not given a chance. He was kind of like the fall guy already put in place, because Tampa Bay's management or ownership, they were in a different place. They were trying to save money, and as they were trying to buy a soccer team. And they got Raheem Morris to be the sacrificial lamb while they were trying to conduct business somewhere else. So they did not really put a solid team around him. But one of those years, he still had a good year. Took the Buccaneers to the playoffs, but year 3 was really bad. We know he had a good stint with the Falcons. He was on that Super Bowl team that went to the Super Bowl as one of the coaches. And then eventually when Dan Quinn got fired, he was promoted to be interim coach and did a decent job. And looking back, we probably would have done better to put him as the coach at that time rather than bringing Arthur Smith to Atlanta. We prolonged the inevitable. But with that being said, Dan Quinn hired by the Commanders. Good hire, bad hire. What you say, Red?
It wasn't their first choice. It was just the most convenient. It was a convenient hire. I'll say that because it wasn't their first choice. Their first choice decided to stay in Detroit or Houston because I think they wanted one of those offensive coordinators. But once they made the decision to stay with their teams for another year, which I kind of agree with, then Dan Quinn was, I guess, the sacrificial lamb. He's like, all right, y'all. Well, I guess we'll bring Dan Quinn over here from the Cowboys. Let's make the Cowboys a little weaker by bringing their defensive coordinator over here and helping us out. I'm not really sold on this hire because, like I say, I think it's another retread. I know Dan is getting a second opportunity, but personally, it's funny how he can get his second opportunity so quickly, whereas a black coach probably have to wait a decade to get his second opportunity. So it was a convenient hire. I see Dan Quinn's already looking into college, getting his offensive coordinator like he did with Sark. Bad move then. Might be a bad move now. Dan, you trying to bring Brian Kelly on over here. He didn't work in Philly. Why you think he gonna work as your OC? But hey, like I say, it's Dan Quinn. So you know what I think about Dan up here, real. So we'll see if he's gotten better as a head coach. I don't believe it, but we'll see. Personally, I think he should have stayed in Dallas, being DC coordinator one more year, see if they can get over the hump. But Dan, you jumping off ship, man. So you must think Dallas ain't worth nothing. Like, man, let me jump off this ship before I really go down with the Titanic. Yeah, you might be creating your own Titanic in Washington, Danny. But we'll see.
All right, Jerry Lucid. I'm with Raheem. I like the energy. McCoy and all our non-TF ex-GMs just got to get out of the way. Arthur getting the head coach fired. I guess they like misery, like the Steelers 7-10 loading, fast and physical to the bottom.
What?
I have no idea what he's talking about. Dude,
all right,
what are you talking about?
Before we address or try to address that coach, let's stay on Dan Quinn going to the Commanders.
If you hold on to Eric Bieniemy, I would say it's a good one because Dan Quinn Washington needs an offensive person. You good defense. They had a decent defense, but if you don't have an offensive mind on that team and you don't keep Bieniemy, you're not looking at a profitable result because Bieniemy is your offensive coordinator, and Sam Howell has some great numbers. They didn't win a lot, but they couldn't stop anybody. So now he'll help the defense, but offensively, you better have somebody to back him up or back you up.
All right.
Well, he's not keeping Bieniemy, coach.
Well, I'm going to say that the Dan Quinn hire was a smart hire for Dan to get out of Dallas before the ship sunk. And I think that he was looking at himself more so, looking at the job in with the Commanders. I think because of the uncertainty about the Commanders since they changed ownership, and even though Magic is a part of it, I think the uncertainty caused people like Ben Johnson from Detroit to second guess going there. They probably want to see what the climate is like, how they run their team before they open themselves up to that kind of opportunity. So Dan Quinn won by subtraction because they needed somebody, and Dan was at a place to say, look, if I stay in Dallas one more year, it's probably my last year, 1 year, one way or another. So I might as well dip out now. All right, so this is the moment of the show that I was really waiting for, besides bringing in Dez earlier. And this is going how we end the show. Red, I want you to, in your mind, tell Coach what he has to look forward to as Arthur Smith becomes the OC of his beloved black and yellow Pittsburgh Steelers.
Are we going to talk about Harbaugh for the Chargers?
Who cares?
I thought we already talked about him last week.
We did? Jim
Yeah.
Harbaugh for the Chargers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we could have. All right. Now go ahead then. All right, black and yellow.
Black and yellow.
Well,
what does he have to look forward
Coach,
to?
Coach, did you see how stressed me and the money were last season for 17 games with our offense every week coming on here, about to go crazy with Arthur Smith and his bad play calls and bad decisions and whatnot. Now I know, Coach, you're still supporting. You're gonna support all you guys to the end. But like we say, Coach, just prepare yourself and be aware of what's on the horizon for your offense. If you thought your offense, whatever you thought about your offense last season, woo, that might be paradise compared to what's coming this season, especially if Arthur Smith doesn't change his style. Now, Rev, what I think might save Coach and his Steelers in the end is that Arthur is not the top dog. He's just an assistant. I don't think Mike Tomlin will let Arthur Smith completely ruin his team like he did us. But still, I'm questioning Mike Tomlin if even thinking about bringing this guy in after he failed so much. And I'm trying to see, what is Mike Tomlin thinking? What are you seeing in Arthur Smith that nobody else have? I guess we'll find out. But Coach, yeah, your offensive line will be good. Your running game will be there. But as far as your Pickens and your receivers or whatnot, the tight ends or whatnot, they might have some issues next year. And if you thought Pickens was a headache last year when he getting 1,100 yards, can you imagine Pickens next year when he not even getting probably the same touches and that 1,100 yards dipped to maybe 800 or 700 yards? Y'all gonna have a problem on your hands. So I hope for the Steelers and Coach's sake that Arthur Smith has a recollection or something. Maybe has an enlightenment period over the offseason, and maybe finds a way to improve his offense. Because if not, Coach, you're gonna be the one coming on here stressed out every week saying, "Oh, Red Armontis, well, we'll show up, but I don't know what the offense gonna do. Defense will be there. Coach will be pumping up his defense to the fullest next season. We're gonna hear more TJ Watt and Joey Porter Jr. references. But boy, I can't wait to see. I really can't wait to see. This might be must-see TV to hear Coach reacting to Arthur Smith controlling his offense next season. So I'll see how.
All right, Coach, we're going to give you a chance to retort. Let me read these comments. Arthur Smith plus Ryan Tannehill. Again, we know about Arthur Smith, but let me remind everybody, Dante Stallworth said comparing Tom Brady to Ryan Tannehill is like comparing a battleship to a rowboat. G said, I literally fell out of my chair with Pittsburgh hiring Arthur Smith. What are they thinking? Arthur Smith may get Mike Tomlin fired, and I feel sorry for Pickens. Coach, what you got to say, man?
I'm gonna go to 3 different examples, and then I'm gonna expound on that. Rev, Steve Spagnuolo is y'all defense coordinator, correct?
Correct.
Did he have a winning record as a head coach?
No.
No, he was terrible. Josh McDaniels, did he have a winning record as a head coach? No.
Not to my knowledge.
Great coordinator. Arthur Smith was in Tennessee. He took that offense from one of the worst in the 20s, 22nd, I think, to top 5. He ain't gonna be no head coach. He not gonna have that much duty. And you already said it, Red. Mike Tomlin is the coach. And I just want to go. When was the last time that Mike Tomlin team had a losing record? It haven't happened. So Arthur Smith is gonna have some input. Offensive coordinator wise, oh yeah, he gonna do his job. And he tried to go over Mike Tomlin. Ain't happening. Mike Tomlin's not gonna let that team go down. I mean, Matt Canada. Oh gosh, Tomlin had a winning record with Matt Canada as the offensive coordinator. Terrible. So my thing is wait and see. I'm not gonna doubt it, but I'm just going on wait and see. If these coordinators can revitalize their career, because Spagnuolo was out the league for a minute. Look at Kansas City defense, balling, playing great. Same thing with Josh McDaniel. When he run an offense, it's running well, but they're not head coaches. They can't coach. They can't, because that's too much responsibility for them. And I'm not saying the Steelers gonna go out and be 14-3 and win the AFC. I'm just saying that they could still be in the mix. Right now, who's to say? Everybody's going off Arthur Smith's track record with the Falcons, in which he did absolutely nothing as a head coach. And they said, well, he called the plays there, but I don't know what could change or what he's going to change in Pittsburgh. Wait and see. That's all I'm going to say. Just wait and see.
So what makes you take the wait and see mode?
Because I give everybody a wait and see chance. Just like with if they went off what Raheem Morris, his struggles when he was coaching, and they automatically assume, like I saw a lot of people saying, I don't know why they got him. He ain't winning nothing. He ain't done nothing. Y'all ain't even giving the man a chance. The season hadn't started yet. So, you can't, if you go by what a lot of coaches did before they started another you automatically expecting losses. I mean, you automatically going to be down on them from the rip. You can't get down about it, and they haven't even coached a game. Now, check with me when Arthur Smith, they played about 5 games, and they like 1-4, and his offense ain't moving. You can't. Matt Canada was terrible, and yet they managed.
What are you gonna say then if that happens?
I'm gonna say they better change something real quick because this ain't working. But Matt Canada, they fashioned a 10-7 record out of him, coach, offensive coordinator most of the season, and with quarterbacks who nobody considers a starting quarterbacks, even Wilson Pickett.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Coach. Now, are y'all content going into the season with Pickett? Are you content going into the season with the same quarterback you had last season? Or you think you need to change, possibly?
They're gonna do 2 things. And I can almost see it. They have to prove me wrong. Mitch Trubisky will be a free agent. If he ain't a free agent, he won't be on the roster. And they're gonna pick up one of those veterans that's hanging out there in free agency. I've heard several names. They tied Russell. I mean, they keep saying Russell Wilson on ESPN. They want Russell, and they keep saying what's his name, Fields. I don't know why they're saying Kirk Cousins, because Kirk coming off ACL, so I don't know if he's gonna be ready. And and somebody said they could get one in the draft. Penix has been linked, but they're not gonna get a quarterback too early because they need to show up that line. But
you a fan of them getting Fields, ain't you?
I wouldn't be mad at him because I think he needs to change the scenery, and he gives them something that you got a versatile quarterback with a good arm, and he can move. Yeah. And so
I agree.
I'm gonna go back to G's comment because I'm more in line with what she said at the end. I do feel sorry for Pickens. I feel elated for Harris because one thing that we've seen from Arthur Smith, or as Red calls him, Awful Smith, is that he does know how to cue up a running game.
Mm-hmm.
That's his greatest strength as a head coach. And then probably as an offensive play caller, you had Derrick Henry and with the tight ends, Algier had couple good years under him. Patterson had some good years out of him. Unfortunately, Robinson didn't have the best year out of him, but we know that he can call run plays. The passing game is very suspect. We don't really know if he can do passing real well because he's really never had a top-notch quarterback. Ryan Tannehill wasn't top-notch. Riddler definitely wasn't top-notch. So it's just going to be interesting to see what kind of passer he selects because we know that, he definitely likes a running game. But you got Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. You're going to have to find a way to get that ball to him. And
Right.
that's what I think is going to be the major issue with the Steelers. But it's going to be interesting. I'm glad Arthur Smith is not wearing red and black anymore. That's all that matters to me at this time.
Thank you.
G has a message for fantasy owners, for all the fantasy football players out there that have Pickens on your team. Sell, sell, sell.
Yeah, man. Like I
And
say, he
Jeff-
doesn't have a 1,000-yard receiver. I've seen him. He didn't have one in Tennessee, and he had Pitts the first year, but a wide receiver. I haven't seen him have a 1,000-yard wide receiver since he's been coaching.
Yeah, he's not that talented when it comes to the passing game, but we'll see. And again, using a coach reference, stay tuned. All right, gentlemen, let's get ready to end this thing. I got to start making my way to the Atlanta airport as I go back to Pennsylvania. I can't even say chilly Pennsylvania because it's been somewhat chilly here in the A, but it's going to be chillier when I get to the PA. But nevertheless, you have the right. Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how? Who wants at it first?
Go ahead, Coach.
Those people who like college basketball or who say college basketball is not doing that well. Well, I guess that ESPN or somebody has heard you because they got a triple header today of some pretty good ball games. You got Houston, Kansas. You got Duke, Carolina. Then you got Kentucky and Tennessee. So I guess they said they got all the marquee matchups, so they're going to put them out there and going to try to bring you back if possible. So some good college basketball on today. They're taking advantage of the fact that there's no football, so they got all the marquee games today. So hopefully all of them are pretty good and there are no blowouts.
All right, Ray, who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
Okay, once again, I'm gonna follow Coach's example, but I'm gonna go to the NBA. You have the right. Hawks and Lakers. Both of my teams playing doubleheader today. Hawks at 7:30, Lakers at 8. Big game. Hawks, you got a right to stay on this winning streak. I can't believe you don't won 3 straight. But we going for 4 straight against the Warriors. Trey, your big brother, Steph Curry, coming in the house tonight. I want you to represent just like you represented last night. Trey, you got a right to prove to the world that you are all-star and you deserve to make the all-star team. Well, you keep playing games like you did last night. I even saw you block a shot, got some steals. I know you small, Trey, but do whatever you can on defense, man. We appreciate anything you can give us on defense, but keep dropping your numbers. And who knows? The Hawks might do this thing. They might sneak up in the playoffs. And Lakers, you got the right to keep this momentum from beating the Celtics without your guys. You got to keep this momentum. I'm sick of the inconsistency with my teams. We get momentum and we just let it all go the next game. Well, this time, let's keep the momentum. Lakers, Hawks, you got the right to get this thing started so we can make a playoff run. I am ready. I'm pumped. You see me? You see me? Let's go.
So you see me?
All right, Kansas City Chiefs, you have the right to put down the game plan that will get you all your 3rd Super Bowl under the Mahomes era. You have the right to heal from injuries. You have the right to get the right defensive play calls and offensive play calls in order so that Mahomes can move one step closer to getting in that GOAT discussion. We'll see if there are any Revenite Nation who have to say,
Rev, you know you're not worried about that game plan. You know you just sitting pretty. Sit here waiting on that 3rd ring to be delivered.
I hope so. I hope so. All right, gentlemen. Well, that puts a bow on episode 312 of the Red and Red Sports Show. Thank y'all, Revenite Nation, for blessing us with your virtual presence as well as your participation. Big ups to Red and Coach for your contributions. Again, we want to thank Coach Desmond Williams, coach of the Mays High boys basketball team in Atlanta, Georgia, for stopping by, sharing with us today. We wish this team well, and y'all get ready. We got 1 week of hype before we get to critique the big game. So we'll make our game predictions next week during episode 313. And again, prayers go up to Amani, who is handling business as a U.S.
out there protecting us, fighting for our country and protecting us. That's
No doubt
right,
about it.
Do your
Thank
job.
you, Miss G. Truly appreciate it. All right, till the next time. Be blessed, everybody. And we are officially out of here. Peace and love.
See you.